Howdy friends, welcome back to Make and Play. Once again, I am your in-house artist and art educator, Leanne Hale, coming to you from the Purple Turtle Art Studio. So, last week we worked on fantasy castles in our medieval village, which was so much fun. We had so much fun. Bert and Ernie had so much fun, and the whole sanitation crew that came to visit. This week I decided that we should go to someplace that's more in our time period, like a zoo, a zoological park. I've been inspired by all the zoos right now that have online information and feedings, and you can see them doing live things on Facebook and on their animal webcams. We live close to the Houston Zoo, so I've been following what they're doing at the Houston Zoo, and we're going to be drawing some of the animals this week that they have at the Houston Zoo. You can draw pictures and send them in on their webpage. I've seen that, okay? You can follow along with their education programs right now too. All right, so we're going to be working today on the centerpiece of our zoological park, which is going to be a carousel. And then we're going to add all of our animals to the carousel and add our animals to our park. But today we're going to once again talk about symmetry. Remember? Can you do this with your hands with me? Symmetry is where we take something and we can fold it in half and everything lines up. So we're going to do our best to get symmetry in today. It won't be perfect because that would be boring if it was just perfect. All right, so I have some lines on my paper here that I've already drawn. I'm going to use them to help me along so that I can keep everything where it needs to be. But this is where we're going. This one is really large because it's going to be easier for you guys to see. I've cut out my image and I put it on just a dishwasher tab container. You can look around your house. This is a lot of fun. You can have a little scavenger hunt for different objects that you can use and to put in your little art supply corner. Ask whoever's in charge of that at home to help you out with that. But I cut mine out and put it on here. There's going to be so many more things that we add to this, but I wanted you to see where we're going. So I'm going to start today with a piece of paper that's probably closer to what you have at home. This is in the art world, we use 9 by 12. In the office world, yuck, they use 8.5 by 11. So you can use 8.5 by 11 if that's what you have. I understand. I don't ever want to be in the office world. I always want to be in the art world. Also want to remind you that if you like what you see and it's a good time for you to do this, you can always Venmo me a tip to help keep our cool online class going. All right? So I'm going to start with the front of my carousel, and I'm just taking a straight edge. Remember, a straight edge can be a ruler, or it could be a piece of cardboard cut. It could be the side of a box, whatever you want. But I'm going to draw the bottom detail of my carousel. So this is the top of my drawing, and this is the bottom. So I'm just simply going to lay this on the bottom here, and I'm going to use my tools because they're handy, right? Some handy tools. So I'm going to get my Sharpie so you can see what I'm doing. Y'all use a pencil, don't use a Sharpie. I'm using a Sharpie so that you can see what I am doing. But you use a pencil, so if you make mistakes, it's easy for you to clean them up. This is the base of my carousel, part that you see goes around like that, all right? This part right here, the carousel. And now I'm gonna do the top ridge that is the top of the roof, all right? I'm just eyeing this up to see if this is parallel. That means this line and this line is the same. They will never cross as they go into the distance. They'll always stay side by side. And I'm going to go across the top and the bottom of it so that I get a nice stripe. Look at that. That's easy, right? So the next thing I'm going to do, keeping with my symmetry, all right, we're going to make sure to have a nice design here. You can make your design any way you want, and it does not have to be symmetrical, but that's what I'm focusing on today, is once again being symmetrical. So I've measured my paper here. You don't have to measure yours. I've measured mine, and I know that mine's 9 by 12. So half of 9 is 4.5. So I've just made some marks here. So I know where I can line my straight edge up with and get these really nice little like harlequin shapes here. They're diamonds, but the fancy word is harlequin. All right, it looks like kind of like a clown. All right, so I'm gonna take this first dot and I'm gonna line it up with the corner of my page. And I put this down and I'm gonna drag it across. And then I'm gonna do this other side. I'm gonna go from that same point here. I'm gonna put it in the corner. All right, there we go. So I have one of my triangles. See how it has 3 sides? Now I'm gonna do another triangle, and this one's upside down. I guess the triangle doesn't ever have to be upside down, does it? It can go any way and it's still a triangle. All right. So I have this nice pattern now. It's still symmetrical. Like I said, if you don't want yours to be symmetrical, it doesn't have to be, because this is art. We get to do what we want. I'll do what I want, right? Okay, so 4.5 again. That's the middle. You can also just eyeball it. You don't have to measure it, but measuring, it's a good way to practice your measuring skills, okay? So I'm gonna make sure to line this up again, just like I did down here. I'm repeating these lines. Oh my goodness, when you repeat elements and you repeat shapes and lines, it creates a nice composition, okay? How we take different pieces and put together to make something new. This is something new. This is our something new, that we repeated different shapes to create a new composition, okay? It's cohesive because we're repeating all of these triangles. Now we can throw something different in here to make it very interesting. All right, here's my roof. This is like the ridge of my roof, this little edge, and this is the base of my carousel, and this is where our animals will go. I'm going to show you one. Here, let's see. I've got one right here. All right, here's the great Galapagos tortoise. Okay, see how he can fit right there on our carousel? We'll make him where he can move up and down, all right? So that's where that's going to go. Now we've got all of our shapes in. Normally we would go straight to contour, but there's not going to be much different contour here. So we're just going to go ahead and start adding our details. Oh, that's the fun part. So I think that I'm going to add some curves. You could use any kind of circle you have, like the lid of a jar or whatever. I have these, so I'm just going to use them. I'm going to add a contrasting shape in here now. We've been using these very pointed shapes. Actually, I think I'm just going to use circles. We've been using very pointed shapes, but now I'm going to add round shapes, circles, okay? I'm going to put one right there. Then I'm going to come up here. I'm going to mirror that. And put one up top. All right, and now I'm going to work my way out. The best way to do that would be to put a half of a circle right here. What if you don't want to put circles? Don't. Maybe you want to put squares. Maybe you want to put squigglies. You can do anything that you want to do. You could also use like a quarter to make these circles. You could just trace pretty much any shape you wanted. This really looks like a drum, doesn't it? It's real interesting. Now I'm going to put one, now I'm going to come and put one in the middle. When I start from the outside like that, and I do them, I start from the middle, and then I put them on the outside, that leaves a space in the middle that I know I can put one right in the middle, and it will be even. It will keep everything nice and even. Now it won't be perfect, but it'll be really good. We're not trying to be perfect, we're trying to be great, okay? So, I think we need some stripes on the top of this. It's kind of like a tent top, okay? So I've already got a nice point there where I know the middle is, so I'm just gonna line that up. There we go. Now I'm just gonna kind of give myself a middle. I'm just looking, look what I can do. I can either measure it or I can just eyeball it and go, okay, from here to here, that's probably the middle. From here to here, right there. It's called eyeballing it. I'm like, ugh, really give it a look. All right. There we go. And one more. Now this is a super angular one. That means that everything's very straight and lots of angles, you know? Instead of very curvy like this one is. You can make yours the way you want. That's what's beautiful about art. Now you can come back in here and you could add all kinds of really neat little details. You could decide to make this top part, look at this. You could make it like a really fun pattern. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I'm liking that. This will make somebody's eyeballs hurt if you color this with all kinds of crazy colors. But these are the details that you get to choose, which is why art is so much fun. And I think I would like there to be some smaller circles in here. And I'm just drawing these by hand. I could use my circle tool because I have smaller circles, but I don't want to. So this week we're going to be adding on each day. We're starting with this carousel, and then we're going to move on to learning how to draw animals tomorrow and the next day. And we're also going to create a map, and the map is going to turn into a game. It's going to be so fun. So once you get this part drawn, you want to go ahead and draw another one, or you can just have one, okay? It's up to you. So if I take this and I color it and I glue it on here, I can have one on this side and I can have one on the other side, right? I have one on the other side. And then you can even, if you want to get even fancier, you can do 2 more on either end. I'm leaving lots of room for you guys to make creative decisions because it's art, okay? It's art. It's not math that has one answer, no. There's an infinite amount of possibilities. But one thing I want to do is I want to definitely add color. And I also want to, at some point, I'm going to take these 2 pieces off. This right here is not, it's not the roof. This is what we call negative space. It's space that is not used, right? It's background space. It's not our positive image. It's this, the parts in between. Now sometimes those parts are really important, like so super important, but not today. Not today. So I think I'm just gonna get rid of them right now so I don't have to think about it any longer. Just get it out of my life. Just go. Go. Get it out. Out of there. All right. That negative space gone. All right, now it's just empty space, right? It's missing. So here's one side of our carousel. I can take this if I want to. I can trace it on another piece of paper and make another one, and make another one, and make another one. It is up to you. I'm not gonna go through every one of those steps because you can see what it is, right? So you can make 1, or you can make 2, 1 on each side, or you can make 4 of them, or maybe 3. 3 might fit around. You might have a different container that you're using. I don't know. It depends on what you have at home. You could also just take a piece of a long piece of paper and make a ring with it and connect it, or you can connect them to each other. This is where you get to use your big brain. It's huge, yes. And I would love to see you guys posting pictures of what you chose on my Facebook page, all right? Purple Turtle Art Studio. So I'm gonna start adding some color. I'm using my favorite coloring tools, Prismacolors. They're the best. If you don't have these at home and you're looking to get a new art supply, I would suggest those. But we can use crayons and markers and whatever colored pencils you have, anything you can use, watercolors, whatever you have. So I'm gonna add some color. Let me turn it back around so you can see it right side up. Let's see, I think I want to use like a teal. I love this color. Let's see, this one. So I think I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to work on coloring the roof of my carousel. And I want it to be kind of crazy looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to color this same stripe all the way across. I am going to color this stripe, this teal, and then I'm going to kind of checkerboard it. I'm going to skip one over, which is going to make it look super crazy. So then I'm going to do this one. When you're getting ready to add all your details to this piece, you can think outside of just adding color. You can think about adding some real interesting details. Like, I think that these pieces, this piece right here, would be really cool if you cut it out of aluminum foil and it looked like a mirror, because lots of carousels have mirrors on them. You can cut paper out of other papers, like even out of colors that you find on like cereal boxes or magazines that are really good colors. You could glue on here. All right. You could have like little pom-pom balls or buttons or trim and ribbons. This could be a really nice multimedia piece. That means more than one art product. Okay. The medium I'm using right now is Prismacolor. That's what's in my hand. But you could mix up a bunch of different art products, and that is called multimedia, and that is one of my favorite things to do because there's no rules. We'll do what we want, okay? So what you're going to do today is you're going to continue to color. I need to stop coloring, but I just can't do it. Let me finish this one. You're going to continue to color your carousel. Remember your choices here. You can just do one, and then you'll have one side of the carousel, and that's fine, okay? You could do two, and you can make them wrap around and stick together. You could do 3 or 4 so that it becomes a whole piece, okay? It's up to you. I'm gonna show you where we're going with this when we add the animals to it. So I have this cute elephant. I made him pink because I thought that was a lot more fun. And before I glue this on here, you want to put a little hole in here. But I just want to show you what it looks like. I'm just going to take it off real quick. Then I'll put it back on. I've got some double stick tape on mine. You can use glue. You can use tape that you roll up in little round pieces so that it makes double stick tape. That's what we used all week last week, just some masking tape. I've cut some little slits here. We're going to do this next time, but I want to show you where we're going with this idea because it's exciting, really exciting. Okay. On the back of this, I put just a strip of paper, okay, and I've got a straw. We're going to do all of this together, but I just want to show you, like I said, where we're going so you can get really excited. And you can see some of the supplies that you might want to use, like a straw. You could also use a shish kebab skewer or a piece of like a pipe cleaner, a Chanel stick, or any of that kind of stuff, like whatever you think that would work. So this gives us the opportunity to make our carousel animals go up and down. Look how fun that is. But I'm not even close to being done with my carousel because I want to add all kinds of fun stuff to it, and I want to glue a lot of things on. But I think I've given you enough work to get done before we meet again. So your job before I see you next time is to decide how big around your carousel is going to be, okay? Remember, you can take your next piece of paper and glue it directly to this to make your carousel just out of paper. You can glue those pieces together. It could be probably at least 3 pieces, 4 is even better. You lay this right down on top of your paper that you're going to do for your next one, and you're just going to trace it. All right, you can trace it and you can know exactly where to cut the roof off. All right, and if you want to make each one of your panels a different pattern, oh, that would be so awesome. You would have a really, really, really cool looking carousel. You could also take something that's round and attach this to it, some sort of cylinder that you have at home, or a bowl. Look around, okay? That's what we're doing. We're doing some creative problem solving, and all of ours, they're all gonna look super different, and they're going to be amazing. So we're not going to do the play part today because that's going to come at the end of this week when we put all of our pieces together. So until I see you next time, you guys keep being creative. Get this part done so we're ready to move forward tomorrow, okay? And be kind.